Hello, how's it going today? It's Frankie here, and I'm back with another movie review. Now, this movie is called Deprivation. So, if none of you know what that, some of you don't know what that word is, it means when you're deprived and you start hallucinating and stuff like that. Just basic, factors that come into it. This has got to be one of the most dumbest movies I have ever seen. Now, it's one of those typical ones which I would explain at the end what happens, in the movie. And I'm obviously going to give spoilers away in this one because it isn't worth watching. Too much talking. The acting was terrible. I mean, it's one of those where I'm not gonna make the video this long. So, it's about these three friends: Ollie, James, and Marcus. I often don't really remember characters, but there's only three people in it, and they obviously talk about going to a cabin to not sleep for a week, and they ask they ask the psychiatrist questions. I interview him. I'm not going to talk about the psychiatrist part. Actually, I think he's a psychiatrist, doctor, whatever it is. Right. I'm going to skip past that. They get into the cabin, and 12 and 24 hours have passed. Now I don't know how they jump from that to 24 hours. Surely it should be 12 hours each, which would make sense. But 24 hours, okay. So you think, okay, they must look tired and baggy. They don't. They still look wide awake. They look how I am. They're not waving like this. Oh, hey, I'm just a bit tired at the moment. They're still wide awake and still active. Don't know how. Then they get to a campfire scene where James talks about, some ghosts or something there. Bear that in mind, this movie is about them having hallucinations and them seeing hallucinations on camera. Now, that doesn't really strike me as a found footage film because if the character's hallucinating, surely they would say in the point of view as the character. So why would that be recorded on found footage of his their hallucinations? It doesn't make much sense to me. It's a clever concept, but this movie was terrible. So I don't know what else to say. Let me move on to describe more of the scenes. Then they find that Ollie has went missing, and they try and find him, and James finds some medication or something. I don't know. I think it must have been. Who's it? I don't know if it was James's or Marcus's one. I have no idea what it was or whose medication it was. I don't even know how to describe it to me. There was not one single hallucination caught on camera. Not one single one. This movie has did never start off good. The last 10 minutes you thought, okay, it's interesting. It was horrible. I thought the movie was going to be better than that. I mean, I may have to start rating movies just because of the title and the information of what it's about. It was literally misleading. I didn't see a single one. You would think, okay, first 20 minutes it's just the characters introducing themselves, getting to the location, start filming or doing whatever they want to do. Then the storyline kicks on. Then they start seeing the odd hallucination or whatever. Never. I was expecting to see something scary, something creepy. I never saw one single bit of that. I was bored the entire way through. I nearly felt like sleeping. I was drifting like that. I wasn't even sleeping. They nearly made me sleep deprived watching that for over an hour. It's an hour and 26-minute movie, by the way, so watch it if you want. Don't blame me for getting too bored. Let me continue with this whole movie. There's not really much else to tell. And then, he starts calling some search group up or police or whatever. Doesn't know the address of the cabin. So he goes in to talk to James, because he wants to know about where the address of the cabin is. And James kind of looks a bit possessed because the sleep's getting to his brain a little bit. So he starts, chuck stuff like that. He's facing away from Marcus, and Marcus just runs out, goes in the car, and you see, James with his axe breaks the car window, the car window, and then obviously kills him basically, bashes his head with a rock or stone, wherever it was. I think it's a rock anyway. And then so you see another view from the other side. So yeah, I keep forgetting there's another camera used in this one. You see the angle from like a distance away from the car. I mean, and then you think, okay, the movie's a tiny bit interesting here, and then you see the other camera getting picked up from Ollie, and you see that Ollie has a gun. And you know what happens after he shoots at James. The camera turns around, and then he says, "That's a wrap." Oh my good God, man. Wow, that's some bullcrap of a movie right there. This is what I mean. I can't stand movies like this. where they end the movie like how they would end it when the movie's completely finished, when all the cameras are off. I hate, I can't stand when they do that. I think they did that in, what is it, Grave Encounters too, but obviously the accounts that announced it was fake. Oh my goodness. I mean, Snowfalls was better. And Snowfalls wasn't found footage. It actually had actual hallucinations. It was actually a bit creepy, but they didn't have enough scares in that. Acting was a bit better. There was more characters. This one here was just a joke. I get they were trying to probably make it for a project, or it's the first time they made a movie, so they wanted some practice. Don't put this out. Acting was poor. The way the characters were poor. There was no enthusiasm. There was nothing going in the movie. Nothing scary. And he says, okay, that's a wrap. That ruins the whole entire story and concept. They were sleep deprived. Still looked healthy after what, a whole week of doing that. They still looked that in good shape, in good health. They certainly could walk around a bit more. Wasn't realistic enough. And I'm not a doctor or anything, but if you're sleep deprived, you'll be a bit wavy, actually hallucinating, stressed. They were a bit stressed, and they did get a bit tired eventually. But that was like towards the end. There wasn't really anything in this movie. It was, I've seen movies like this before. It's a joke. Like, I'm not, no offense, I'm not good. I wouldn't be good at making movies like this anyway. But come on, that movie should have been at least an hour. Like, don't extend it half an hour more, man. Like, there was nothing. And then after it ended that day, it just ended. Ruined the whole concept. It's like watching a good horror movie and say, okay, boys, that's it, that's finished. But that's what you would say if the whole movie is finished. Like when the credits go up, that's when everybody says, okay, that was good. You did good acting there. Terrible. I think it was Chris Foster, something like that made that movie. I don't know what you were thinking. Hats off to you making a movie, but come on. The rating for this, the name got me, but that's about it. That was about it. Nothing. I've seen movies in the last half an hour where they get good. This is just a shambles. It seriously is. Everything needs improvement. Only good thing was that I was going to give this a 3, but you know what? The only good thing was the name. That's it. That's all I can say. I'm going to say a 2 out of 10. One of the most boring, dumbest, and worst movies I've ever seen. Period. I don't know why I sat through that. I was misled. That's criminal. That should be a criminal offence. Literally, to all the movie companies out there. Anyways, I think that's it for this movie review. So, if you enjoyed this video, please give a like, comment, share, or no, subscribe, hit the bell notification below. As I'll see you in my next video.